feature.
News time is 9 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast. Brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. In the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The 2022-23 school year is in the books, and the principal of Clinton Junior High School says the latest year offered its highs and lows. Jim Peck says the latest school year was as normal as they've had since COVID, and it offered many activities that return that all junior high students looked forward to.
We lost so much of those sports things and those activity things, and so I think all of that just coming back was the first step of feeling normal, I think. But then, we just talk about some of the things we didn't do. I made a list like 7th grade STEM day, right? It was something that we did before the pandemic. We actually did 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and now each grade level is kind of split off and started doing their own thing. But 7th grade STEM day, we were able to spend a whole day at the Y, students in teams of 3 and 4 with parent volunteers building boats. And then 2 students in each team had to get the boat across the pool at the Y. And really they had materials of cardboard, duct tape, some scissors, like very basic. Hey, here's your layout. You design it, and figure out how you're going to get it across there and do it. So, stuff like that we just couldn't do because of the fear of being together and having to distance. So being back to normal for that has been awesome. We added something this year. We had kind of done 2 separate events. We always have our band and choir concerts, and then we had a district art night. So we try to combine how do we kind of bring all of this art stuff together. So Katie Vogel, our art teacher at the junior high, had an idea of each semester, whenever our band and choir has their concert, we're going to turn this into just an arts night. So we've got our art show going on in the cafeteria for 2 hours before the band and choir concert, all of the things that are created in our art room. And
Peck believes the opportunities of the junior high school are second to none and applauds the district and school building staff for their hard work to provide the opportunities to the community's kids.
I will say just a little plug to our school. I don't know of any junior highs that you walk into that have the elective options that we do. I mean, when you're a junior high kid at Clinton, you can take 4 or 5 different art classes during your time there. You can get into a full shop and you're building tables and you're racing cars that you've built with CO2 cartridges. You can go to our fax class and learn how to sew, cook. Michelle Knapp does an amazing job in there with our kids. So there's so much. We've got a STEM program. We've got our intro to agriculture stuff that then feeds right into the high school. Yeah. So when you think about the options that our kids have, all of that stuff was kind of limited too during our last couple of years. And now it's just back into doing those normal things. I'm just proud of how we've returned and the things that we can offer our kids.
The theme of the 22-23 school year was grit and resiliency. Peck explains everyone has things they need to work through right now, and they're trying to teach their kids the values of grit and resiliency.
22-23 was really a great year. I'm so proud of our staff and our kids. I think the words that we worked on a lot this year was grit and resiliency. A lot of focus on that. I think as we've come back from, I hate to say the bad word, but the pandemic, we really had to think about how things have changed and how people have changed and how do we work through all of the things that everybody is dealing with, from learning loss to that grit and resiliency, and focusing on those things. And we've got a great group of kids and staff that come every day, either ready to teach or ready to learn. And we're just there to meet the kids where they are and now move forward as we're back to normal.
For Peck and his staff, the challenges of the last year were continuing to make up ground that was lost during the COVID pandemic. We'll hear more from him on that next week on Regional Radio. With a roughly $1 million project ahead to address fire safety concerns, a DeWitt County nonprofit is going to be taking on some fundraising efforts this summer. Encore Developmental Services are trying to find ways to fund what will end up being a roughly $1 million expense for fire improvements to its facility on the east side outside of Clinton. Executive Director Stephanie Kuntz indicates the first fundraiser is tomorrow at Encore Developmental Services.
We have one opportunities to come to Encore, and we're going to be having big parties. We're going to have on June 3rd, we're going to have what we're calling our summer bash, summer kickoff, and we are going to be having, food, our famous lemon shake-ups from Apple and Pork.
Yeah.
Those will be there again. Probably have some food, some hot dogs, hopefully a DJ, just a big party. We'll be highlighting summer merchandise and things in the store. There'll be opportunities for people to donate. There'll be opportunities for people to shop and buy all the things and come and just have fun at Encore.
Encore is planning to have a couple other fundraisers, this one at the IGA Cookout in front of the Clinton store. Kuntz also says they have a few special things planned later in the summer and are planning to be back at the Apple and Pork Festival in September.
We'll be back at Apple and Pork. Also, I didn't think about it. We're at least once, if not twice, we're going to be at IGA with the whole food sandwich lunchtime thing. So we'll be doing those kind of things. There also will be a like Facebook fundraiser, online fundraisers where people can donate that way. We have a QR code that put out there. So you might see some flyers around town, and with a QR code, and you can just hop on it and you just PayPal me $20. And it's just an easy way for people to be a part of the community and to donate and, to give to those people. There's always something. It feels like, well, also the store, we're going to do, they're super cute. We have our little Encore guy. If you see him, he's like this little blue guy with a heart. And then we have a disability pride flag that we had a staff design, and we'll be selling those in the store. We'll be having clients color those, and then you can buy those store, and we're going to put them up, and it'll be fun and cute, and everybody gets involved.
Last year, there was an unexpected inspection of the Encore facility, and it was devastating to the agency. Kuntz explains a new inspector from the fire marshal's office went through things with a fine-tooth comb, and they were hit with a comprehensive report of violations that needed immediate attention.
The big thing at Encore has been our fire marshal safety mitigations or life safety violations with the old warehouse building. So that's a big thing. So we have been looking at how we can make those mitigations right. And we've been working with architects. We've been working with fire alarm companies, been working with the Office of State Fire Marshal, and also looking for the funds to complete the project. We've divided it up into phases. Also, we're not at the stage where we have the plans where I can get bids out from contractors.
Okay.
So it's all estimate at this point. So overall the current plan includes mitigation correction and then also building improvements. And that would be probably around $1 million for the whole thing. And that doesn't even cover a lot of the needs that we have, like parking lots and
The good news for Kuntz is they are going to likely be able to break the project up into phases, and they've started to gain some momentum in prioritizing projects as they build up funding.
So obviously with that big of a budget or big of a plan, we have to break it down because we're small. We don't have that $1 million bucket just to go pull from. So with that, the first phase is getting a new decent, good fire alarm system in place in our building. So it is way past time for that to happen. So that's the first phase, probably $70,000 to $80,000 cost.
Okay.
For that. And then that's the current, what we're working on. We're getting the plans drawn up. And then after that, we'll be able to put out for bids for electricians to come in and install that for us. And so that's exciting for that. Also, the overall plan, architect's plan for the building is actually at the Office of State Fire Marshal for their approval. Once we get that approval, then we'll be able to go forward with the next phase because the fire alarm system is fine. They've got the drawings for that. But then the next phase is we'll be building firewalls. We need 2 firewalls in the warehouse.
Okay.
If you've ever been to the warehouse, it's a large 20,000 square foot pole barn. So there's going to be a firewall at the back of the building, like the back third, because we have to move all of the mechanical, all the storage, all of the things for our landscaping business, all to that back. All the bales, all that will be at that back third, kind of the building. The maintenance shop is moving back there. So that will be an area. And then the front area, we have to have a firewall between that warehouse space and the business. If you ever go in the warehouse and you see the big green baler, the firewalls like on the other side of that a little bit. And we're working with redesigning the warehouse now, so that it kind of fits within those walls, just so we don't have to move things as much as we go to and moving things now when we actually get to that building phase.
Kuntz explains the fire marshal's office has been good to work with and flexible with the agency, but that will be put to the test when they receive the plans put together by the architect. They await word on the approval from the fire marshal on those plans. Get details on the happenings of Encore this Saturday and this summer by finding them on Facebook. News time, 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. More to get to coming your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
This is Scott Baum at Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We believe in putting customers first. That's how we started, and it's why we go the extra mile for our customers. Looking for a new or used vehicle? We have transparent pricing for new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. See all our pricing and pictures online at your convenience. Or come in and visit our full-service team today at Clinton or Farmer City. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
News time is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday morning. May finished hot and dry across most of the state, and it looks to be starting that way for the most part for June, except for some scattered showers. Meteorologist Eric Snodgrass says the first part of the month won't see much improvement in weather.
Drier. We're going to be warmer. Temperatures are going to go up into the upper 80s and going to start to head into the low 90s. But I think June 10th will be the pivotal time period. If we can get into that time period in June and we see better storms coming back, that's going to put a major kind of relief into the concern we have going right now with this drought.
June 1st represents the first day of the meteorological summer. Classes may be out for the summer, but Ag in the Classroom is still doing work.
We've got 38 summer Ag Institutes scheduled across the state, a variety of teachers going to different County Farm Bureau locations in partnership with soil and water conservation districts and extension units to help teachers learn more about all the ag around them. And so my former life as a teacher used to celebrate the end of the school year, and now that's the beginning of Ready, Set, Go for us here at Ag in the Classroom. So super excited about that. We shared we previewed the materials we'll be sharing with our county coordinators at our county coordinator meeting a week ago, and we are super excited to be talking this summer. Our theme is soil. We are all soil. So for the next school year, you're going to hear more information about Illinois Ag in the Classroom talking more about soil.
That is Ag in the Classroom coordinator Kevin Doherty, who says around 450 teachers are enrolled in summer Ag Institutes. Prairie Farms Dairy is celebrating World Milk Day. This year also represents the co-op's 85th anniversary, says Prairie Farms Dairy spokesperson Darren Copeland.
Yeah, so for the 85th anniversary, we're going to donate 85 pallets of milk to 28 food banks around the Midwest on June 1st. And that equates to something like close to 300, and if you're talking about 8-ounce milk servings, that's about 350,000 servings of milk that will be donated. And so we're having conversations with food banks all across the Midwest to make these donations on World Milk Day, June 1st. So we're just really, really excited to be in a position to help our partners at some really great food banks that they're doing good in the communities. And we know there's so much hunger out there, and milk is perfectly positioned with the nutrients and vitamins that people need to help address some of those hunger issues. So we're super excited to be a part of it. So we'll have plants and branches at a number of cities. Just take Illinois for instance. Our Carlinville plant will be supporting the St. Louis Area Food Bank and also the Central Illinois Food Bank, and then we've got a Rockford plant will be supporting the Northern Illinois Food Bank and the Chicago Food Bank. So there's a lot of facilities in Illinois, of course, that will benefit from this large donation, but we'll also be doing the same in other states, including Michigan and Minnesota, Mississippi, even that far south, Indiana, and Kentucky, just to name a few.
June is also National Dairy Month. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the Invest in Kids program could be revived, but might look a little different. Lawmakers did not vote to extend the private school scholarship program for low-income children, which is scheduled to end December 31st. The governor was asked about it in an unrelated event and says the parameters need some fine-tuning.
One of the challenges that's been with that program is that there was a huge tax credit. This never gets talked about. 75% of the charitable giving that's supposedly being given into Invest in Kids, 75% of it is then paid back to the people who give the money in taxpayer dollars.
Governor Pritzker also says that credit may be too much.
I think we should have tax credits that support education and other things in state government. But we also have the federal government willing to cover about 40% of the cost. Why have we created a program in which we're paying for 75% of it? This is a problem in the fundamental makeup of it.
Invest in Kids is set to end December 31st unless lawmakers vote to extend the program when they return for the fall veto session. If that happens, the governor says he will sign the bill. The Illinois Department of Transportation is rebooting the It's Not a Game Safe Driving campaign for 2023. You'll likely see the ads online, TV, and in bars and restaurants promoting traffic safety with a reminder that there are no extra lives on the road.
It plays off of the old school video game themed, and it's got some key messages to educate the public on traffic safety. Nothing's more important than the safety of everyone, and that's what we're doing for the second year.
IDOT spokesperson Paul Wappel says there's even a website. It's notagameillinois.com with videos and an online quiz. Nearly 1,300 people died on Illinois roads in 2022.
And, people are going to see these ads on social media. They'll see them in bars, restaurants, gas stations when you're filling up, summer festivals, and you'll also see them on, traditional on radio and TV channels. And some of the ads they'll be running in Spanish as well.
So far this year in Illinois, there have been more than 430 traffic fatalities. Things will look a little different around the entrance points to the Worldwide Technology Raceways complex in Madison this weekend. The Illinois Department of Transportation has been working with traffic officials and the Illinois State Police in advance of the second NASCAR Cup Series race at the track. IDOT operations engineer Joe Monroe says they have made some changes after last year's inaugural event.
Some of the impacts where camping was located. So they've actually been very proactive and moved camping. So there are less conflicts for pedestrian and vehicular interaction. And then the third thing that they also took upon themselves, they've actually adjusted their tram route, and then we'll have a dedicated spot to where folks, even though they may be parked a little farther away, will have access to the tram to bring them very, very close to the track perimeter.
Monroe says public transportation is an option for spectators coming to enjoy the Illinois 300 and associated events, as southbound Illinois 203 will be closed to through traffic between Bend Road and the interstate between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. Visit traceway.com/enjoy Illinois 300 for more. The first signs of the West Nile virus are popping up in Illinois. So far, 3 batches of mosquitoes have tested positive for the virus. In all in Cook County, says State Department of Public Health spokesperson Mike Claffey.
And this is a really great reminder for people that this is a time of year when you should start protecting yourselves from mosquitoes and the viruses they carry by wearing insect repellent and eliminating standing water around your home where mosquitoes are known to breed.
Last year, the West Nile virus was detected in 44 Illinois counties. There were 34 reported human cases and 8 deaths. Seniors and people with a weakened immune system are most likely to have complications if they're infected.
8 people in Illinois died as a result of West Nile virus in 2022, and that was the largest number of deaths in the state since 2018. So West Nile virus is a serious public health concern.
Claffey adds it's a good idea to protect yourself from mosquitoes with insect repellent. Make sure there aren't any tears in your window screens and eliminate any standing water on your property where little biters can breed. News brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. We stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in